Hey guys, it's Alicia Main, the animal healer, and in this episode, we are working with Sarah Poet and her cats Mila and Luna, who went through a move and are going to undergo another move and have had some kitty challenges. So, enjoy the episode. It's really, really mind blowing to see what can happen when we work on bodies at distances. Sarah is in North Carolina. I am in Colorado, so we're at least 2,000 miles away from each other. And I think the result will put a smile on your face. Enjoy the episode. Hey there, it's Alicia Main, the animal healer, and today we're going to be working with Sarah Poet, who is in North Carolina. Sarah is a beautiful, beautiful woman and an incredible coach. She teaches embodied breath, and her website is Sarah Poet, just like the name Poet, POET.com. And today we have the pleasure of working with your two cats. So what's going on?
Well, we moved out of our house in town and we moved to the country, and we moved in with someone who had some cat allergies. And so these beloved little felines could not come inside. Mila is the white cat. She's about 5, and Luna is younger. She's about 2. And we got Luna as a kitten. So my son is 11, and he and I definitely are so bonded to these cats. Trained Luna from being a kitten. When we met her, she just flopped right over and let us rub her belly. I mean, she's just so sweet. So we were in instant love. And so these cats were really close for over a year. And when we moved here, we were hoping that they were going to shelter in the barn. That was the plan. Looking back, the plan was not adequate. I am not proud of the plan because Mila left the property and we did not know where she was for 3 months. I thought she had died. And then she was returned by a neighbor in a box. And I actually think that she was probably with a neighbor or someone in their house, but she was safe and she came back and she was pretty healthy. She was underweight, but she survived. 3 months later, she was back. But then the cats did not get along anymore.
Yeah, I'm taping you.
So at the point that she came back, I had Mila, the white older cat, inside because I love her. I regretted it so much. I wanted her to be okay. She actually did not want to go outside anymore. Whatever had happened, she was over.
Being away for 3 months, that might do it.
Yeah, she was just like, no, I'm not going back out there. That's scary place. And by that time, Luna had acclimated to living outside. She lived in the barn partially. She really likes it. She likes, like chasing the leaves and chasing the mice. She's super innocent. But she also went from that little floppy, like total innocence to, she's more sure of herself. She's solid now. It's pretty cool. She's grown up quite a bit in the last few months. But now we're moving again. And so these cats are now both back in the house and have been for about 2.5 weeks. And at the beginning of them being back in the house, they were not getting along. A lot of hissing and cowering, but also being really mean on Mila's part.
Okay.
And then Luna pretty much just doesn't want anything to do with Mila.
Okay.
She's timid. She's not scared of her, but she's kind of like, just get me away from her. So she goes back outside when she can. So we're going to be moving, and I don't know where we're going to be moving to, but most likely they'll both be indoor cats again.
Okay.
And they are using the same litter box successfully. Mila's not happy about it, but they're agreeing to it. So it's much better than it was 2.5 weeks ago.
Okay.
But you've been involved the whole time, but we just want to make sure that they can really get along again.
Let's find out from the cats, because cats sometimes too, cats can like mirror stuff that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So let's find out from the cats. Okay, girls, what's up? It seems like both girls have had experiences kind of contradictory to both of their natures. And so there's like this getting to experience like the flip side of yourself, and then also like, all right, now let's come back to center. I'm glad we had that experience.
Yeah.
But let's see if there's anything that sort of got stuck in anybody's bodies, because what I've been kind of shocked with is how much body structure and alignment will hold, literally, like will hold emotions or thoughts or beliefs. And when I work on it, it's almost like I don't even have to go into the processing of the emotional stuff. It just lifts.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking my language because this is part of what I do in my work. And so, yeah, we don't have to do all of the processing anymore. We can
and
on the quantum level. Yeah.
It will be very interesting to see, because I've only done the episodes with like one animal.
Right.
So this is going to be fascinating. And these are our first cats. So
I thought they might be.
Yeah, they are. We've been doing horses and dogs and wolf dogs. And I'm like, okay, bring on the cats.
Well, it's funny because, I mean, we all know the saying about herding cats and how it's just like impossible. And so I fed them before this, and then I locked them in the bedroom.
Okay.
So we're all in the bedroom together. And as soon as we started talking, they got on the bed together, which has not happened. So they're already feeling.
They're already on board.
Yeah, they're already on board.
All right, cool. All right, well, let's turn the camera and let's see the girls. Mila on the left,
The white
cat, is saying, work on me, and it'll transfer to Luna. She said, work on my body. I'm like, okay. I'm going to start with the instinct body assessment. Mila decided that she wanted to receive the assessment, and Luna is also going to receive it through quantum entanglements. So I'm going to put my left and right thumbs on the top of Mila's head, and just off the bat of the top bones on her head, we've got the left side is high and the right side is dug underneath, almost like, if you remember back to like San Francisco and that bridge collapsed. So I'm going to gently open that back up for her and bring balance back to those bones in the top of her head. All right, so C1 is pushed up on the right a little bit. So I'm just releasing the muscle tension there and opening that back up. Oh, and the left is a little tight on C1. Okay. C5 on the left is pushed up to the ceiling a little bit. On the right, it's compressed to the floor a little bit. So just going to release the tension there. Let that balance. Wow, these two girls are out.
They are. We had an early lunch.
Oh my God. So Luna just kind of rounded when I got to C5.
Uh-huh.
So she might be getting the adjustment on C5 more than Mila.
Mila's having a lot of small like twitches as she resonates. I don't know if you
Okay, great. All right. So now we're going to go to T1. It's good. T2. T2 on the left is a little bit tight. It's aligned, but it's just a little sticky. Okay. T3. It's good. T4. It's good. T9. T9 on the left is up towards her shoulder. On the right, it's down towards her hip. So just releasing the muscle tension there. That T9 has something to do with where the girls have been funky. Where I'm looking at her back, she's got 2 black marks. One has a little more orange in it, the bottom one. It's about right where that orange mark is.
Okay. And that has to do with the behavioral stuff.
Yeah, because all of a sudden, like, so I'm working on her, but I'm also feeling sort of like that infinity loop between the two of them. And I just really started to become aware of like, oh, that's where it was like a little bit broken, and that just kind of needs to come back. And I think that's why I mentioned before, it was like, I'm seeing fascinating things start to happen and take place when bodies get balanced and behaviors just like disappear, because so much of our learning theory and behavior is about the brain. But what if the brain's not in control? What if it's actually the spine alignment? And when I say that, I'm not a chiropractor, so I'm not adjusting bones. I'm just looking at, where are the bones sitting, and I'm just releasing muscle tension. I'm finding this fascinating as a trainer, because everything they tell you as a trainer is you're training to the brain.
No.
And what I'm finding in doing this body work is, hold on a minute. When you get the alignment correct, the brain naturally uptakes. We take a deeper breath, there's a reset, and all this stuff that we've been told and learned about behavior might not hold the way we think it does. And this seems much easier to work on bodies, let behaviors change, and then you just work on the little bit of behavior, rather than trying to override that the body's out of alignment. And you're going to still have to almost sort of force the brain to think differently versus, well, what if you align the body and then all of a sudden the uptake is completely different? Now it's going to be interesting to see what Luna does. She's feeling it also, like moving through her system. But can you see how her spine is lengthening out so much more, which is going to shift the uptake. I'm assuming it's going to shift the uptake of the chemistry to the brain. She's probably also breathing better, because when we have a pain or a restriction or a discomfort, over time, we might not realize it's actually shortening our breath. So this is fascinating to me as well.
Yeah, I can definitely feel Mila's system opening. And I'll say I'm more attuned to Mila. My son and I kind of have these special relationships where Mila's more my connection and Luna's more his. And so I can definitely feel what's going on in Mila's body a little bit more than I can feel what's going on in Luna's body. So that's interesting. But there is a lot of opening.
All right, now we're going to get into lumbar. Lumbar 1 for Mila on the right is pushed up. On the left, it's pushed downward a little bit. So just going to release the tension there. There we go. Beautiful. L2 is a little rotated. The left is pushed forward. The right is sort of pulled back. So just releasing the muscle tension there. Letting that there. Ooh, that just floated right open. She's definitely open to being the magnificent feminine being that she is. It's just like, I can't believe, like, when the muscle tension is released, I'm like, wow, this cat is pretty friggin' cool.
Yeah, I'm so glad she came back.
Luna, the darker cat, is feeling like she's coming back. She was outside. She was a huntress. She kind of learned to really like it. There's also really like soft, sweet, gentle delicateness about her that she's like rebalancing a little bit into. And Mila has always, like you said, she's always been the older soul, but now it's like there's a level of comfort that she's also reclaiming in her body again as well. All right, L3 is opening. L4 is good. L4 is a tiny bit sticky. I feel like a big breath is coming that she hasn't fully been able to get all the way down into her like lumbar and sacral area. She's been getting some of it, but she just hasn't been getting like her full, big body breath, like her back end is open. Her back end has been just a little shut down. Go 6. It's so cute. Is her L5 open? You see Luna's little paws.
The little white paws.
Oh, she's opening too. Okay, and just checking her hip. So her left hip is rotated back a little bit. Her right hip is rotated forward a little bit. So just releasing the muscle tension there so that her hips slide back. There they go. All right, awesome. Okay, I'm gonna put her in an energy grid, and I'm just gonna scan Luna's back real quick in case I missed anything. It's interesting how Mila just popped her head up when she was like, "Oh, you're finished with me?" It's like, well, you can get from your sister too. Like it works both ways.
You don't have to be in charge.
Yeah. All right, so top of Mila's head is good. I'm sorry, top of Luna's head, darker cat. C1, C2, 3. So far, everything's kind of in alignment, which is great. T1, there we go. Beautiful. T12 is good. T13. T13 is a little high on the right, no biggie. Diaphragm, just bringing her diaphragm like a little bit lower, just lengthening it out a little. Okay, there we go. And then hips. Her hips are good.
Awesome.
So I would say I'm super happy with what I saw release.
She's really long right now.
Yeah. So let's just see what little Luna decides. Luna's still like just marinating.
I'm definitely aware of how much they're stretching out and mirroring one another. And I mean, Mila never lays this long. Usually they're both really, really curled up. So there's definitely expansion in the energy. I'm so surprised that they're even just laying here this close together. So that's exciting. They've been through a lot in the last 6 months, and I don't feel good about everything that they've gone through. So this is really beautiful to see them like this.
They're like, listen, it just is what it is. Like you live every day, you be as present as you possibly can to the situation, and basically you adapt, and it's cute because both of them, I mean, it feels like Mila is leading the conversation, but like Luna's right in there like, She said think about it more in terms of how do I adapt to the best of my ability to this situation. She said, but what, like you're recognizing with the two girls, right? They both went through completely, different like life-changing occurrences, and they adapted. But she said it's also important that through that process of adaptation that you also get yourself worked on at some point. Literally, they're both like, okay, I'm just gonna stay here till the brain changes. So I'll be interested to see the behavior changes.
Yeah, I look forward to having my son witness the before and after.
Yeah.
So we'll get his opinion as well.
Oh, that would be fantastic. The girls just feel like there's just a lot of rebalancing taking place, even though it looks like there's nothing happening.
Yeah,
it feels like there is so much happening.
There's so much happening. Yeah. And I love how you said that too. And it's a great metaphor for 2021. And I mean, when we want expansion, we have to do these resets and then allow for the energy to readjust. We're the same way.
Hello. So it has been 1 week since our session with Allecia, and our lives are much improved. And I wish that I had videos of everything that I would share with you, but again, it's hard to herd cats. So here are some of the key things that I've been noticing. They began sleeping beside one another again and sleeping on the bed with me. So the white cat has slept actually on my feet for 5 years. And she was not allowing the gray cat in the bed. And after the session, they were both sleeping kind of all night in the bed. So that's great. The other thing that started to happen that was really surprising was that Mila actually wanted to go back outside, but she's way more adventurous. She is more open. After her 3 months away, she was very scared to go outside. When Luna would come back in from being outside, she would hiss at her and not trust Luna. And now she has like an urge to go out. And yesterday, I was on a call. I couldn't record a video for you, but they played for probably 20 minutes up and down the stairs, and it was really wonderful. So thank you so much. And then this morning I noticed one more benefit. If any of you have cats that wake you up before dawn to get food, I think when Luna first came back inside the house, there was a competition. They were very frantic in the mornings with meowing and scratching and hissing at one another, and before 5 a.m., this was happening. And then this morning, I wake up very early, partly because the cats have trained me to. But this morning, I woke up and it was 5, and neither cat was making any noise or moving. And then I got up, and one cat just meowed, and we walked downstairs and we got them their breakfast. And I didn't realize how much anxiety or constriction there was in my own nervous system with how they behaved in the mornings. And then this morning was so easy. So those are my biggest notices. Thank you so much, Allecia. We have to move, and I feel so grateful that I have both of our furry friends back in the same house and everyone's getting along, and I feel very, very ready and equipped to move as a family, and it means so much.
Thanks for watching today's episode of Animal Healer TV. We hope you enjoyed it. We'd love to hear your feedback on what you learned about yourselves and your animals. We'd also love to hear what issues are you dealing with that you'd most like to see on the show. If you'd like to participate in an episode, please see the link below and share with us the issues that you're having with your animals. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and Insta, and please feel free to share with your friends. Join us next week for another episode of Animal Healer TV, where we will explore quantum reality and see what else is possible in helping animals and humans heal their behaviors, their health, and each other's hearts.